for coming, everyone. I'm Steve Lewis. I'm the Scoutmaster of Troop 880. It's good for us to be back together again after such a long time. We haven't had an in-person meeting or anything like that in quite a while. Glad to be here today for Dylan Boron's Eagle Court of Honor. And I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, and that is Dave Sharon, who is Dylan's uncle, an Eagle Scout himself, Assistant Scoutmaster in our troop, and I hereby call this Eagle Court of Honor to order. Thank you. Also, Rick Carterud will now present the invocation. Rick, come on up.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this day thanking you for your abundant blessings. Lord, we ask that you join us in this celebration of Dylan Boron, attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Use this ceremony, Lord, to inspire vision and to encourage their fellow scouts to follow in the Eagle path. Help us give well-deserved praise and honor, and to also realize that becoming an Eagle Scout is not so much a destination, but a way of life. Lord, you forged the hills and mountains these young men and women have hiked and climbed. Your hands formed the lakes and oceans they swam. You protected them from the elements, provided the food to cook and eat, and empowered the fires that warmed them on many outings. We ask that you continue to watch over them as they continue to be on the Eagle path. In your Son's name, we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. All right, despite the extraordinary chapter that we are all living through, on behalf of the entire troop and family, we are thrilled to welcome you all to this special occasion, and especially to our distinguished guests joining us today. From South Windsor, State Representative Thomas Deldicky. From Vernon, State Senator Dan Champagne. From the American Legion and South Windsor's Patriotic Commission, Art Sladek. From the Knights of Columbus, Steve Leslie. And the Assistant Council Commissioner for the East, Cheryl Constantine. Josh Kalina will now call the color guard.
Color guard, please present the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute or hand over heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color guard, you are dismissed.
To earn the highest rank in scouting, you may sit. To earn the highest rank in scouting, a scout must spend a great deal of time, effort, and commitment to be prepared for life's greatest challenges. Therefore, the occasion that recognizes his accomplishments should be memorable. This afternoon, we shall follow the light of the Eagle Trail as we recognize the accomplishments of Dylan Boron. When a child becomes a scout, there is within them something represents that spirit because the spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout oath and law. It becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may seem feeble, but when multiplied by the more than 3.5 million boys and girls in scouting around the world, it is powerful indeed. After a boy or girl enters scouting, the Scout law that they promise to obey begins to guide their lives. One by one, using the flame from the spirit of scouting, we shall light the symbols for each of the 3 parts of the Scout oath and each of the 12 parts of the Scout law. Each of these is an important foundation in the building of strong character. Okay, will Josh, Jacob, Ryan, both Ryans, Kyle, and Will.
In the Scout Oath, the young Scout promises upon their honor to do their best to do their duty, first to God and their country. Jacob will now light the first white candle. Second, to other people by helping them at all times. And third, to themselves, by keeping themselves physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You see how the light from the spirit of scouting is now beginning to grow and become brighter. I ask for all scouts, current and past scouters, and all who live this life of scouting to recite the Scout Oath. Please stand. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to guide my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2. The Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout tells the truth. He or she is honest, and he or she keeps his or her promises. People can depend on him or her. I will not like the first one. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is true to his or her family, friends, Scout leaders, school, and nation. A Scout is helpful. A Scout cares about other people. He or she willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. A Scout is friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. He or she is a brother or sister to other Scouts. He or she offers his or her friendship to people of all races and nations and respects them even if their beliefs and customs are different from his or her own.
A Scout is courteous. A Scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He or she knows that using good manners makes it easier for people to get along. A Scout is kind. A Scout knows there is strength in being gentle. He or she treats others as he or she wants to be treated. Without good reason, he or she does not harm or kill any living thing. A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He or she obeys the laws of his or her community and country. If he or she thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he or she tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobeying them. A Scout is cheerful. A Scout looks for the bright side of life. He or she cheerfully does tasks that come his or her way. He or she tries to make others happy.
thrifty. A scout works to pay his or her own way and to help others. He or she saves for the future. He or she protects and conserves natural resources. He or she carefully uses time and property. A scout is brave. A scout can face danger although he or she is afraid. He or she has the courage to stand for what he or she thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or her or threaten them. A scout is clean. A scout keeps his or her body and mind fit and clean. He or she chooses the company of those who live by high standards. He or she helps keep his or her home and community clean. A scout is reverent. A scout is reverent toward God. He or she is faithful in his or her religious duties. He or she respects the beliefs of others.
I now ask for all scouts, current and past scouters, and all who live this life of scouting to recite the scout motto. Please stand. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
I would now like to introduce Eric Thompson, John Hoffman, and sorry. Now I'd like to introduce our Assistant Scoutmaster, Eric Thompson, who will be speaking on behalf of our committee chair, Maury Bridge, who played a large role in the Scout attainment of the Eagle rank. He'll describe what it takes to become an Eagle Scout.
Thank you. Are you ready? Are you ready? No? You're done. I mean, parents are sitting here with grins as big as you can imagine. It's been a great trip, and I think when we did your board of review, I reminisced a little bit about how long ago it was that I got my Eagle. But, as we've always said, because old men like to tell stories, you carry it through your lifetime. So congratulations. The Eagle Scout Award is the highest and most coveted rank in scouting, the last major step in the advancement program. To become an Eagle Scout, a scout must earn a minimum of 21 merit badges, including 12 which are required. Cooking's in there. He or she must be active in the troop for at least 6 months as a life scout. He or she must serve actively in a troop leadership position for a period of 6 months after achieving the rank of life scout. While a life scout, he or she must plan, organize, and carry out a service project helpful to a religious institution, school, or community in a manner that demonstrates leadership and service. He or she must demonstrate, through the testimony of character, references, and otherwise, that he or she lives by the principles of the Scout Oath and law in his or her daily life. He or she must take part in the Scoutmaster Conference and must appear before a board of review to have his or her qualifications reviewed and evaluated. That wasn't too nerve-wracking, was it, the board of review? No. With that, I'm going to call on John Hoffman. Who's speaking about the Eagle Project? John is?
Well,
okay. You both are. Okay. So I'm going to call on them to give comment because they were intimately involved in this project. So, John first. Wonderful.
First off, oh, that feels good. You gotta let this thing breathe a little bit every once in a while. So Dylan's Eagle Project. He worked with the Patriotic Commission, the American Legion because he wanted to do something to show patriotism towards the country. And he opted to build flag collection boxes that could be used throughout the town. And the significance of it is probably more poignant today with everything that is going on in our country. We have protests going on for equal rights, which I'm sure everyone in this room agrees. We have people taking a knee for something that represents a sacrifice that has been taken by millions of American armed services, and something that we've strived for 100 years. So to see Dylan take on something that's so patriotic now is truly heartwarming in my mind. These boxes, they just weren't boxes. I mean, they were boxes, okay? They would hold 6 ounces of fabric, but they probably weighed in around 60 or 70 pounds apiece. They were very well constructed. To engineering standards, I might add, because I was there the night we put on all of the decals. And let me tell you, I've never had to pull out fractions on an Eagle Scout service project, but we had those things measured to within engineering tolerances on where they fit on the boxes. They were quite beautiful when they were done. They've been deployed all throughout town, and they're serving well. So with that, I'd like to call up Dave Sharon, who I'm sure has a few other comments.
Well, you pretty much said it all, but if you hadn't had a chance, over on the side over there in the pictures, you can see what the boxes look like, or if you've seen them in town around. The only other thing I wanted to say was kind of a cool project. A lot of kids came out, and a lot of my fellow Eagle Scouts from my old troop, Troop 61 in East Hartford, came out to help out. So it was kind of a neat project. It was fun. Dylan planned out the whole thing. He did a whole schematic, all that, everything, the plans for it, and we made a couple little alterations to try and get it the best optimized for each box for one, piece of plywood. So tried to conserve, right? So other than that, I think they came out great, and it was a great project.
Thank you. So, as the Assistant Scoutmaster for Troop 880, it's my pleasure to report that after a thorough review of his credentials, Dylan Christopher Boron is qualified for the rank of Eagle Scout and is entitled to receive the Eagle Scout Award. Now, Assistant Scoutmaster Brian Peck will offer his remarks and tell of the obligations of an Eagle Scout, which Brian was an Eagle Scout with our troop. Got it many years ago, at least 3, right? At least 3. Brian Peck.
Thank you, Eric. Before I give the prepared comments, I'll just mention, my experience with Dylan. Great scout, came to us and really integrated well into the troop. And then when the summer camp came, he came along to the summer camp. We had a fantastic time over at Webster, right? We basically laid siege to the whole camp. We started a little war within the camp between the different campsites, and it was a great time. Everybody had a good time, and we did tamper it back just before the staff was overrun. So it was pretty good. But here was what was striking was a great camper, great scout all throughout. But afterwards, his mother came up to me and she said, "So what did you do with these kids this week?" I said, "Oh, okay, something I didn't know happened apparently, and got reported to Mom." I said, "Well, I don't know. What do you mean?" me and said, "Hey Mom, thanks for bringing me to 880 because I really love scouting again." So, you know, it really touched me that they had such a great time, and really you'll hear Steve Lewis, our Scoutmaster, say it time and time again, scouting is a game with a purpose, and as the adults, it's our job to keep the kids safe, but also make it fun and interesting for them, and all the leadership in 880 does a fantastic job of doing that, and here's the result. We got a happy young man who has attained the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout, and couldn't be any happier to have you within the troop. So let me pull up my comments here, because I am tasked with the charge of the Eagle Scout. Eagle Scout Challenge, correction. Dylan, you know that new and more difficult challenges await you. You know that it is how you carry yourself through the path of life that lies before you that will define the type of Eagle Scout and person you are. It's not the patch or the medal of Eagle that defines the person. It's the qualities within you that are most important. Let the higher qualities of honor, kindness, perseverance, faithfulness, courage, trustworthiness, humility, reverence, and grace, and they'll continue to guide you in your actions. Today, you are an Eagle Scout, and you always will be. As such, you represent all Eagles, you represent this troop and scouting, and you represent the very best of South Windsor and your hometown of Vernon. Carry your Eagle rank proudly, but with humility. Carry it with an unwavering honesty and integrity by giving to others without expectation of receiving anything. Guiding others for good, comforting those in need by taking responsibility, and by working through life's challenges with strength of character. This is the badge that you now carry. And I'll conclude by passing along the words of my Scoutmaster, Mr. Neal, way back in 1980, and what he said was, "Once an Eagle, always an Eagle." Congratulations, Dylan.
Okay, I'd like to call up Eric Thompson, John Hoffman, and Jacob Lund, sorry. Eric Thompson will recite the Eagle Scout promise first.
Stand right over here for that. So, Dylan, your conduct along the trail to Eagle has been excellent. You've dedicated yourselves to the principles of scouting, but one more thing is needed. By repeating the Eagle Scout pledge before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. Scouts, parents, and guests, please stand. And if there will all Eagle Scouts, please come forward, left to right, and line up behind me, and we will mutually do the Eagle Scout pledge. Come on up, Eric. Scout sign and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example rank and my influence. Count strongly for better scouting. And for better citizenship. In my troop. In my community. And in my contacts with other people. To this, I pledge my sacred honor. Thank you. All Eagles other than Dylan may be seated. I'm going to now hand the mic on to Jacob Long.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jacob Lung. I was in Troop 86 with Dylan at the start of his scouting career, and thank you for inviting me to do this for you. It's good to see. Congratulations. Can Jeff and Joanne please come forward and stand behind your son? Dylan, on behalf of Troop 880 and 86, I present this Eagle neckerchief to your mother, Joanne. Please put this neckerchief on your son. Dylan, I present you with this Eagle certificate. Troop 880 has had the certificate framed for you as a gift from the troop. The frame has a special compartment in which you display your Eagle badge. Jeff Hoffman. I'm sorry, John Hoffman.
See, I messed up yours, and you messed up this.
Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Eagle Medal and the badge. Dylan, in recognition of your earning the rank of Eagle Scout, I present you with the Eagle Scout Medal. Your mother will now have the honor of pinning the medal on your uniform. We can hope she draws a little blood.
Dylan, your parents have undoubtedly been your primary source of help and strength. In recognition of your mother's devotion and love, please present her with this miniature eagle.
Each scout is assigned an advisor as they near the Eagle rank to help them achieve this goal. Dylan's advisor was John Hoffman. Dylan, please present him with the Eagle Advisor pin. Dylan would also like to present a mentor's pin along with two grandparents' pins. Mr. Hoffman.
And the grandparents' pin is for my mom, please Sharon, and for just Dad, Robert Boron.
So we have one other award that I'd like to arrange for presentation. Would Mr. Lewis please come up?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Boron, our latest Eagle Scout from Troop 80. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Dylan, by the authority vested in me by the National Eagle Court of Honor and the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you to be an Eagle Scout. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you our newest Eagle. Congratulations, Dylan Boron. Parents may now be seated. And Dylan, you may now take a seat. Before we catch on with our special guests, I did want to make one personal shout out to the honor guard that was here earlier lighting the candles. In all fairness, we gave them a Bic lighter. Had it been a rainy day and we give them flint and steel, they'd all be burning still. So I just thought I would mention that. And without further ado, Mr. David Sharon.
Okay, there's a few people that would like to say a few words about Dylan. We'll start off with Josh Felino.
Hello, everyone. So I have a story about Dylan that happened a few years ago. It was with our prior troop 86. We fly on our camp out. It's called Deer Lake. We go every couple years, and it's a nice camp out. We just go, we hang out. There's a beach that we visit halfway through the camp out. It's very nice. Low tide, there are sandbars all the way out. But there was also a playground on the way to the beach. So prior to going to the beach and hanging out and going swimming, we decided to have a little lunch. So we had previously planned to cook chicken fajitas. This was not the best choice, seeing as how the chicken had to be fully cooked as to not make anybody sick, which was difficult with a camp stove. It was also difficult to check all the food and stuff. But when we were done making the chicken fajitas, they didn't look like chicken fajitas. So they weren't probably the healthiest thing to eat at the time. So stomachs were already a little upset on the way to the beach. Now the playground at the beach when we got there had this huge tire swing, and we thought it would be a great idea to throw Dylan on it and spin it as fast as we possibly could. So mixing this with the chicken fajitas was not a good plan at all. And on the way back from the beach, after we had already gone swimming and had all our fun, Dylan gets a little nauseous on the way home in the car.
Senator Anwar, we honor you by presenting you this flag flown over the capital of the state of Connecticut, recognizing the highest award available in scouting, the Eagle Scout Award. And again, congratulations on a job well done, and continue to make us proud.
Put my glasses on, sorry. Actually brought them the same. As Representative Delnicky said, we could not get you a proclamation from the state this time, because you live in the town of Vernon, so I have one as mayor of the town of Vernon. And this proclamation says, whereas Eagle Scout is the highest rank available in the Boy Scouts of America, it requires many years of hard work and service, as well as utilizing the tools of good scouting, law, service, leadership, and giving back to the community. And whereas Dylan Christopher Boron worked with the members of South Windsor American Legion to design and construct American flag collection boxes, and whereas Dylan took this project in an effort to demonstrate the proper way to dispose of aged and damaged American flags, and whereas Dylan exhibited strong leadership and guidance throughout all stages of his project, working with his team of Scouts and American Legion members to bring this project to a successful completion. Now therefore, I, Daniel A. Champagne, Mayor, together with the Vernon Town Council, on behalf of the entire town of Vernon, do hereby commend and offer congratulations on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations. And I just want to follow up with, honoring our flags. This is the perfect time. And I agree with everybody else and what they said. So thank you.
Okay, instead of me repeating what everybody said, I'd just like to congratulate you, and I'll even make this shorter. And I'll read just the part that really pertains to you personally. It says, this is a proclamation from the town of South Windsor. Whereas Boy Scout Troop 880 of South Windsor, Connecticut, on Sunday, July 26, 2020, is proud to bestow the rank of Eagle Scout on Dylan Christopher Boron, the son of Jeffrey and Joanne Boron, and whereas Dylan has served his troop in many capacities, his progression through the ranks have included being elected to the Order of the Arrow, a Boy Scout honor society that performs service projects and promotes the ideals of scouting. And whereas Dylan has exemplified his worthiness of the rank of Eagle Scout through his successful project consisting of the construction of four flag retirement boxes, which have been located at the South Windsor Town Hall, South Windsor Public Library, the Community Center, and Walking School. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Audrey Delnicky, on behalf of the Andrew Paterno, Mayor of the Town of South Windsor, acting on behalf of the Town Council and the residents of South Windsor, do hereby commend Dylan Christopher Boron in attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout. Thank him for his contributions to the town of South Windsor and wish him every success in all his future endeavors. Signed by Mayor Andrew Paterno, Deputy Mayor Pendleton, Councilors Delnicky, Evans, Hockenberry, Lopez, Lydecker, Manili, and Schneider.
you remember all that it represents. Perhaps someday when you feel down on your luck, you will take out that silver dollar and remember how you kept going on and the difficulties that you had to overcome in order to reach that goal. And maybe it will give you that little extra that you need, a boost to lead you to success rather than giving up. You are today an Eagle Scout, a winner, one of the select few. Never forget that and all that that silver dollar represents. So folks, he cannot duplicate Neil Armstrong's achievement itself, but he can make a difference in this world. Parents, family, friends, let's support his dreams and his own legacy that he'll strive to achieve in the coming years. The eagle has landed.
District 2, Representative Dan Carr.
Thank you. And thanks for inviting us here. Thanks for inviting us here tonight, this afternoon. I'm Dan Carr. This is Bob Sanford. Just really quick introduction. Some of you guys know that the council has gone through some reorganization. So Steve Lewis, the former district chair, Cheryl, Mrs. Constantine, the past district commissioner for this area, for this group of troops. That's all been recombined. Bob is the district chair going forward. I'm the district commissioner going forward. Why do you care about that? Some of the same reasons that you've heard about this afternoon for why Scouts, why Dylan, why we all support Scouts like Dylan working toward Eagle. It's to build good leaders. It's really so that we can all help each other be better. And that's really what it's about. So Bob and I are here. Hopefully we do nearly as good a job as Mr. Lewis and Ms. Constantine did on sharing great ideas with other troops and other units across the new district. Taking good ideas back from here, but sharing those ideas across other units and
congratulate you and to issue you the challenge of never forgetting your scouting background. You should never need your badge for people to know you're an Eagle Scout. Get involved, do things that help out others, and everyone will benefit, including yourself. So, with that, we have a certificate from the Knights of Columbus here. It simply says the Knights of Columbus Supreme Council congratulates Dylan Boron for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. Just give my personal congratulations to Eagle Scout.
All right, before I hand over the mic to Eagle Scout himself, I just want to say a couple things. I just want to remind everybody, it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work, time, dedication to get the Eagle rank. Fun, too, as well. But another important part are the parents. Parents are a big part in scouting. Involve parents in the troop. Push the kids along too. You know, they need that little push. I remember I needed that push as well. Right? You too. Yeah, too many years of pushing. So I just want to give a round of applause to all the parents in scouting as well. I also want to say I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. It's nice to see my nephew, Eagle Scout. All right, so anyway, without further ado, the new Eagle Scout, Dylan Boron.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for everyone to come in here and share this moment with me. It's been a long time coming, and now that it's here, it feels even better seeing all of you here with me. I just want to thank a few people, especially my mom and my dad, for kicking me in the ass every time I needed it, and not letting me forget about the fact that this was the end goal. Like mentioned, it was a 2-year period where I wasn't really that into scouting and I wasn't looking into doing anything with scouting. And then I joined 880 and all of a sudden I fell back in love with the program. And I wanted to make Eagle as much as I can. And it came down to the wire, but I'm glad I got it. And I just want to thank family and friends for always supporting me along the way and just being there physically and mentally whenever I needed it. And then I just want to thank specifically Josh, because when I had moved to Vernon, I couldn't find a troop, and I was going to quit scouting then as well. And then he introduced me into 86, and I had gotten back into scouting, and it's helped me ever since. And I want to thank every scout that's made scouting fun, because everybody can go do an Eagle, but if you don't have friends along the way to make it fun, then was it really enjoyable to make it? You're just I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, as you can tell, and just a little happy, but that's all I have to say, so give it back to
Okay, as we come to a close of this ceremony, I'd like to extend an invitation for our guests to savor refreshments immediately following the completion of this program. They're going to be situated over there on that table.
All pre-sealed.
Everything's pre-sealed. You can also